Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel where we showcase other people's collectibles so we can all collect good vibes and get ideas on what to collect. Today is episode 3, and we will be talking about comic books. Let's welcome Jerome to the show. Hi, Jerome.
Hi, Albert. Thanks for having me here. What do you need to know about my newest hobby?
Yeah. Jerome will be talking to us about his top 5 comic books. But before that, I just have a few questions, Jerome. So, why do you think it's a good idea to collect comic books?
It's like a fantasy. As a kid, I used to be playing cards. Then I watch those comic book characters, preferably in the Marvel universe. It would be nice if you have them like something that you can hold on to. So even if I get old, or maybe if I have my family one day, I could still share it with my children. Hindi lang talaga siya na pang young age. It's all ages. So that's how I see it.
Hmm. What was the first comic book you decided to collect?
Preferably X-Men. That was modern age, meaning back in the 90s. But right now, I'm still collecting them, but more on the older age, which are Silver Age. So preferably X-Men. That was my first one.
How did it feel to collect the first item?
Of course, yung excitement, especially back in high school. So you will feel that the one that you're seeing, you'll be able to have it in your own hands and read it, the story itself. Somehow you would have your imagination running in your mind that what you're reading, I mean, it could really happen. So it feels really exciting the first time you get to hold your first comic book.
So, what considerations do you have when you collect?
Of course, the character, it should be appealing to you. Of course, every comic book collector, they have their own preference. In my case, I would also consider my preference, how it affects the character, his ability. Somehow you want to have a feel of that character, but also something that you've been wanting to be. That's how I see it. Someday, maybe in your dreams, or maybe when you get old, you somehow watch that character, or you get to play that character. One thing that I also consider when I'm collecting is the investment. So not just the character, of course. Preferably that's the first choice, but also second choice would be investment. So that was really hard last year because you didn't know which one would be a hit. So, but I already had a few comic book that's already been a hit since last year. But this year, I decided to switch to before the modern age, bronze, or preferably silver if I can have a golden age. So why not? Because that's would assure you that that character is already established and it's already a hit.
So, you mentioned the investment aspect.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself selling these for a profit later on? Is that one of the goals?
Yeah, as much as possible. I try to keep it to myself, but of course, you wouldn't know what would hit you. You really cannot tell in the future, in the near future, such as this, like this one, the pandemic. You wouldn't know. I mean, a lot of people are really selling their comic books. Luckily, I just feel blessed and thankful that I could still collect them at this at this crisis. But of course, I'm trying to limit myself. But I'm still thankful that I still get to collect them.
All right. So, with that, let's start with your top 5.
Yeah. Top 5: Amazing Spider-Man, 300. It was published in 1988. The first appearance of Venom. So there are really a lot of factors why there would be Venom in the first place. The symbiote and the symbiote god and the relationship to Carnage. That's what interests me. And number 4, X-Men, 94, which it's the second appearance of Colossus or Storm and third appearance of Wolverine, but it is the part where uh, there's like a legend writer in what's called the Chris Claremont. So that's the first book that he wrote when he started working for Marvel. So a lot of changes happened after that. And number three, X-Men number 129. It's the first appearance of Kitty Pryde and also other characters as well. I'm just into the ability of Kitty Pryde. I mean, the way that she can see the future and also the past. If you've seen the movie Days of Futures Past, so if there's a comic book for that. That's how she does it. Number two, Amazing Spider-Man number 361 is the first appearance of Carnage. So the relationship between Carnage and Venom that always somehow excites me, especially with the sequel coming up. So, I mean, there are a lot of symbiotes, not just Venom and Carnage. So, as you can see in the first movie, there was Riot, but there was also Scream and anything else, any other symbiotes. So, it's still a lot to look forward to. And the number one I have right now, which hopefully I can replace it, X-Men number 2. So if you know X-Men number 1, where it is the first appearance of the whole X-Men, Cyclops, Iceman, Professor X. I have the issue number 2. It's a really
Nice.
it's really something for me. So it's a really precious. Every time I hold this one, it's like I go back in time. So so it was the first time that it was published, or it was the first time that people were reading it. So it's really something special to me. So hopefully right now this is a hot item, but of course the hot item is issue number 1. So that's really hard to come by, and it's very expensive.
Okay. With that,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing your top 5 comic books for as of today. May I ask, what is your holy grail na comic book?
Actually, this would be my holy grail, the X-Men number 2.
Oh,
Because this is there are a lot of issues in X-Men. Because right now there are how do you say this? There's X-Men 1 to 10, right? Silver Age, and right now in that range 1 to 10, I have 5 of them already. So I'm trying to complete that run, and it's really gonna take a lot of time and hard work to earn money to
Yeah.
buy them. So and plus takes a lot of patience hunting them. I know 5 out of 10, but I would consider all of them as my holy grail because those are really hard to come by.
Do you have tips for aspiring collectors in the Philippines or in the world for that matter?
This is the technique if you want to stay longer in collecting comics. Because me, I just got back 1 or 2 years ago, but it started when I was in high school. So the thing that got me back was because of the characters. So try to, if you want to stay longer in this business, I try to see the character that you want for, or you want to collect, and then eventually the investment thing will come if you want to earn profit eventually, if you decide to sell them. So try to see first which character would really interest you, and then you could start from there.
Okay. With that, thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview. I really appreciate you sharing your knowledge on comic books. I was initially inviting you over for your knowledge on Legos, but I feel like this is really something that you are more passionate about right now. So thank you for sharing your knowledge with us about comic books.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Anytime.
With that, if you like the content, please hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Which was your favorite comic book among the ones that Jerome shared with us? Comment down below. See you on the next vlog.